Okay, we're back. Alright, let's try this one more time. I'm just kind of watching the output in a nearby window, so I just want to make sure you guys get a pretty decent experience as I'm playing here.
Skycurser. Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go! Continue. Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Okay, so you basically got a chance to see it multiple times. I think I've got the screen shake working, especially whenever you destroy the popcorn eyeballs, those eyeballs that fly across the stream in a pattern all together, and then the jellyfish eyeballs. Mainly, I've only started making the jellyfish eyeballs shake. So let's go look at that script real quick, guys. Minimize that guy, and we're looking for this one right here, script object screen shake, and I think it's under controllers, not there. It's a step event, so I think it's got to be, thought for sure it was going to be under helpers, so give me a second here. Script object screen shake, where are you at? I don't think that's a room control. I thought it was under controllers, but I didn't see it. There it is. Okay. Script shake engine. It calls script shake engine and then returns. Returns to this guy, but I thought script shake engine, here it is. Here's the magic. Alright, so we've got it all passing through to here. Specifically, we're doing our controls on enemy 2. We are finding all of the enemies on screen of object enemy 2 and moving to each of the next enemy in this loop, each of the next same enemy in this loop, and then changing collectively the X and Y positions at the same time. So I like how that's working. It looks right to me. It feels right to me. There's one thing that I would like to add to this, which is the original position of each instance that is getting passed through. So let me just think here for a minute. This is going to be especially important, guys, for things like the clouds, the background. We are going to take it out of its correct position. And the thing is, we need to put it back into its final correct position, because right now this does not do that. This is basically selecting randomly every time it comes through here a different X and Y position based on the arguments that are passed in. And for this guy, let's go look and see if we can see this. So let me see here. Yeah, for right now, everything is the exact same. So we're doing a high and a low, and that's going to be the offset for both the X and Y positions. There'll be a high position and a low position. That just basically gives us a positive and a negative number so that we can move that X position of that object right or left or up or down and do it randomly. So the last thing I need to do here is get each object's first position, which I think is going to be right here, and position is 0. I think what we'll do here is Test. I'm pretty sure you can hear me, Chris. Oh, Astra 6. Yeah, thanks, man. Okay, so this is what I need to focus on here, but I may need to have one more update to all enemy objects. I'll do that to the base enemy, and I've got to go to the script object base enemy init. Shake position. So we will look for that on every single object that gets passed through here. Yeah. Hold on. Really what I'm looking for here is, I guess I had an initial position already laid out. It's been a couple days since I've looked at this, so let me go look at that real quick, guys. I think I gotta open it back up. Do I have an initial position? Can't remember if I only added an initial position to this object or not, so I'm going to go look. We're dealing with enemy number 2. Create event. Did we push this off to a script yet? I don't think so. Huh. So I don't see an initial position, even though I'm looking for it here. Ah, this is the screen shake. So, the screen shake has an original position, so I'm going to go look at that. Screen shake, initial position 1, yep. And that's the 1 there. I think I can take it off the base enemy. I don't want to leave it there anymore, which is actually not here. It's in the init. So that's fine to do that because I'm not passing all. I don't think I'm passing every single obstacle through base enemy. So for us to have it there is perfectly fine. And instead we have this position equals 1, and then I think at the very end we set it to 0. But I think we need to do that and say if our 0 dot initial position position is equal to 1, then set it to 0. And my code is a little out of whack here because I was trying to do this for multiple enemies, but then I just focused on object enemy 2 for a minute, which I'll come through and uncomment everything that's necessary here in a moment. But let me just focus on this for a minute. So our goal here is to find the initial position, and I'm not exactly sure how we're going to find the initial position for each one of these. I think it's going to be a loop through similar to this guy, and then finding the enemy and then grabbing its initial position. And then at the very end, like when this thing is basically getting destroyed, we'll go through and pass every enemy back to its original position. Well, we won't do this with every enemy. We'll do this mainly with certain enemies. It's okay for the enemy 2s not to end back up on their original X or Y position, especially not their X position. But clouds need to be on their Y position. Probably flies need to be on their original Y position. The carrier tank needs to be on its Y position. The eyeball plane needs to be on its Y position. So I'm going to try to solve this on this enemy, mainly because this enemy appears quickly, and I know we can control it. Astro 6, I don't have a link to my playlist yet. I'll make one and I'll make it available next stream. But yeah, I just grabbed them all from YouTube in their free section. Basically, if you go to their creator studio, you can choose multiple genres, and I chose, I think the dance genre actually seemed to be I forget what it was, like electronic media or something like that. Seemed to be like the best sounding one on stream that would go well on stream. I've seen a lot of streams, and those always seem to be the ones that work the best. So let me see if this ever has an initial position of 1 based on the output here. Yeah, it does. So it does hit that. That's really good, actually. So there's going to be some experimentation that has to occur here. I'm not exactly sure the best way to do this, but we'll just go for it here. Wondering if I should fill out a specific property on each one of these enemies to get this to occur correctly. Close enough for now. Alright. Enemy at the eye, initial, let's call it init Y. playing the same song over and over? I feel like it is. I don't necessarily want to do that. Let's just click here. Next. Here we go. So I'm going to add some properties to each enemy. And do that to base enemy. And now I'm going to have to go to the script. So let's just go straight to the script. Init song object. And go here with so we're just basically going to grab the Y position. We're going to reset the Y position. We're going to set the default to the Y and X, the X and Y position that the object is created at. X and Y. We're going to reset these properties in the initial X and Y positions as soon as we run through this the very first time, and then on the very last step we're going to reset everything. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do for that, but it might be something like script shake engine reset. And I think what we need to do here, I have to debate in my head, how do we actually, this may be just fine here, because I think once we set it, we basically save the state of it, and all we then need to do is determine if we're resetting the position. So I think, let me see here. I may do a pre-reset, like a preset the X and Y position back to their final state before the object is just in the destroy event. Kind of act like it's in the destroy event. So I'm looking for that object here. I don't see it, so I'm going to go click on it. So looking for object screen shake, and so here's where it actually does a destroy. So an instance destroy occurs here. I bet I could go into the instance destroy script and pass an argument in to indicate that it should be its final loop through. So I may just try this. So I take back my word from a second ago, and I'm going to try to go ahead and drop something in here, and I'll call script screen shake, but I'll pass in one more variable, one more parameter. I'm looking to see what I have here. View low, view high, that's all inside of here. And then the object itself, which is, if I'm in the destroy event, it's just ends up being self. Let's do that. Self, view, I can't remember which is first. Was it view low or view high? It looks like view low. View low, view high, that's fine. I'm not really going to do anything with those mainly. And then the last thing, which will be -1. I'm just going to say -1 is actually going to equal, is going to help determine if this is the final time through. So I'm going to say var arg3 equals 0. I'm going to if I should, yeah. Let's just make this a Boolean, final loop Boolean, instead of a -1. That could be really confusing in terms of just normal computer science. So we'll set this to false. We'll go arg3 here, all across the board. And so we got it set there, and it's false by default. If we pass it in, we'll pass it in as true. Where is that? We're going to pass that in through the destroy event. And I guess it didn't save what I had set here a minute ago. That's fine. We'll reset it. Self, view low, view high, and true. Set this to true. Otherwise it never gets set, and it's always set to false. Now I can do a look to see if we're on our initial, our final pass, and I'm trying to determine if I should let these run every single time. I think I'll... The Beastly Bro! Hey man, good to see you, dude. Zero worries at all, because I have not been streaming the last several days because I've just gotten an upgrade on my computer and I've been trying to set everything up. So you made it back just in time. Alright, so I think what I'll do here is just do a simple if R3, that means true, and that means final pass. Else, thanks man. I know it's kind of hard to see when I had the green screen behind me, so I'm trying to do streams mainly without the green screen, because it's you know, cumbersome. Basically, to set that thing up, it's a little bit cumbersome. So if R3, then we know it's our final pass, and then we can just say. I had a green screen, yeah. It wasn't always super clear, and yeah, sometimes it wasn't set up the greatest, but I think it was alright. Okay, so... Oh, the headset, yeah, I was always wearing it, but the green screen actually canceled out the green on the headset quite a bit. So it was hard to see. So you couldn't tell that I had it. The chroma, basically, is what they call it. I think there's probably a more efficient way to do this. I'm not going to worry about that yet. I'm just trying to make sure, proof of concept here, I can get this back to where I want it. So if it's the final pass through and we're on enemy 2, we're not exactly worried about the X position being the same as it was originally. We are worried about the Y position going back to what it was. So we go Y, initial Y. For some reason it's hilarious, I don't know what, yeah, it was very funny because I don't really think anybody could really tell that I had the headset, because it just always looked like it was getting canceled out by the green screen. Okay, I think this will do it right here. I equals 0, I is less than the number of instances of this object. Grab the initial X and Y values, change the X and Y values. When it's on the final pass, set the Y value back to what it was. I think that might do it. Man, that would be awesome. That'd be way simpler than I could have ever hoped that it would be. Do one more here. Show debug message. Final pass. Close most of these if we can here to keep the windows low. I think GameMaker just starts running slower whenever I have a lot of these windows open. Action number 1 at line 2. I'm pretty sure it's about expecting a certain number of arguments. Let's see if this gets any larger. Awesome. Game Maker. Check the compile window for additional information. Not seeing additional information. 3 arguments, 4 provided. Game Maker, don't you know how this works? I'm allowed to pass 4 in if I want. Okay. Yep, shake engine. Where you at? Helpers. Here we go. Minimize. I did something wrong here, I know. R3. I think what you might need. Oh, I know what the problem is. I called the wrong script. I've got 2 scripts that are kind of similar in name, that is, and I called screen shake and it needs to be shake engine. Thumbs up, play. Try again. What do you work with at work in terms of software? Is that what you're asking? I just turned the volume down on the game. See how this works for these. Oh yeah, look at that. That's baller. That was really good. I liked that a lot, actually. Oh yeah. That puts them right back to where they were. That's tight. Okay. Okay, I think we might have gotten that, guys. Now, I won't want to do that with that particular object, but a lot of other objects I will. So I just wanted to test it, proof of concept, since I had most of that written out. I don't know if you heard me, DeBeastly. Let me try that, asking that again. Oh shit. Sorry about that, guys, in case you didn't see the game. I'm trying to make sure the screen switches automatically whenever the game starts. See if we can get this, try this again. Looks like I have to manually switch it. So give me a second. Not quite working the same way I had it working.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
There you guys see what I saw. So what we're testing again is the jellyfish eyeballs. That's like pretty much right on the money. And I would probably even lower the amount of screen shake. That's pretty much exactly what I want to happen. So I'm very satisfied with that. I'll just leave it on this scene so pretty much see everything I see. Okay. So that's, does the background shake or just enemies? Chris, I've only got one thing shaking right now correctly. I've got the viewport shaking, which shakes the text, but in terms of objects, I had only the jellyfish shaking. The jellyfish eyeball, or what we call the floating eyeball. So now I'm going to start working on getting everything to pass through there, and I like where we're at with it. The object enemy 3, the popcorn eyeballs, may be a little bit difficult to do that because they're on paths, but I'm sure there's a way to do it, so we'll figure it out. So, to Beastly Bro, yeah, I work with a lot of different languages at work, and a lot of different libraries with those languages, but mainly it's web software, and work a lot with, of course, HTML, CSS, JavaScript along with that, but server side do work with PHP and Ruby, and JavaScript comes with any number of libraries that you can think of that are popular these days. Can you hear me better now? Can you hear me better now? You're a noob. Yeah, there's a lot to JavaScript, man. JavaScript has been really the thing that has allowed a lot of, cool things to happen on the web. It's very interesting. Cool. Let's see. Argument 3. I'm not sure I want to do it exactly like this, mainly because I think I can do one loop because they're all the exact same loop. And the other thing I might do is try to pass in what object I want to occur or to look at. Instead of object enemy 2, it would be some other object, right? But I think what I'll do is just rework this just slightly so that it's all in one loop. And we'll pass in the exact things that we need in each one of these. I think that should do it, really. That should be every single loop correctly done. Okay. And that's basically all loops wrapped into one, but then looping through properly and determining what to do on each step. JavaScript is a lot more difficult compared to HTML and CSS because it changes a lot more. You can new libraries are added all the time. CSS and HTML change a lot slower. Depends on what you're wanting to do in terms of what you should look into. The main question is, are you trying to get a job in software engineering, or what are you trying to do? Okay, so I think we're good there. I think the only other thing that I might do is determine what object is passed in, and then what do we want to set so that it's the same as what it was previously. Okay, so for this guy, I don't actually mind him getting off course. This is why I need to do, I think, a switch to determine which enemy is passed in here. And maybe even pass in so 3 popular languages that are out there right now for web dev are Python, PHP, and Ruby. I have familiarity with PHP and Ruby, a pretty decent familiarity with both of those. But if you get into any one of those, you can pretty much you can pretty much bet that somebody is hiring who's looking for that kind of developer in terms of whichever one of those 3 you take. I would say that if you're going to try to be a developer for web software, you'll probably get paid better if you focus less on the things that are the output of the data and more on the back-end development. There's basically the concept of front-end development and back-end development. Front-end development is just the look of everything and how it's all laid out and looks pretty with CSS. You can get, by with using something like Bootstrap for CSS and JavaScript and layout, to make something look nice. But if you're a good back-end developer, which usually means you're pretty good interacting with the database and using server-side languages, then you'll get paid a lot better in the end. So that's my recommendation, is maybe get in somewhere as a front-end developer, but then keep studying until you can become a really good back-end developer and are good at interacting with the database. Okay. This is a difficult one because, man, we're going to have so much code here if I can't figure out a way to do this cleanly. I may be able to pass everything into a script to minify some of the code that's in this, because otherwise I'm going to be duplicating a lot from point to point, and I think that's probably the best way to go about this. Hey, Mr. Cryptic YT. How's it going, man? Good to see you here. Otherwise, we could just do a switch case here and determine what we want to do differently based on which enemy we have. So what would be really awesome is if we could pass in one more item here, which is the object. And I take that back. We really want to check everything. GameMaker was kind of what the 2 partners that I'm working with had decided to start with. So I jumped on board with that, and then I just moved very far away from the big draw to GameMaker in the first place for most people, which is just the ability to do a lot of drag and drop functionality. And I've just done a lot of coding, like straight up coding through their scripts and through their objects. You have to work a little bit within their framework, so there are some things that you can't really get around, but I stay away from a lot of the drag and drop functionality and just do a lot of the scripting straight up through programming. So at some point, and also GameMaker still does export to most of those big software platforms anyway, so we've got our bases covered there if we ever decide to port to other platforms. But yeah, that's the main reason. just pick it. You know, I came in and picked up where somebody else had started. Yeah, I think that's a lot of people's opinions, Mr. Cryptic. I know that, you know, a lot of hardcore developers, game devs, like to program in C or C++, and then a lot of other people like to use Unity and Unreal Engine. But yeah, we're not doing something that's too challenging in terms of what needs to happen in terms of 3D, in terms of using a 3D engine. And I know a lot of the other games or game platforms are really good for that, but yeah, Game Maker is supposed to be really good for 2D anyway. But I'm not here to make the case for Game Maker or not Game Maker. I think if I was, you know, using a different gaming engine, then I could also, you know, study enough documentation to program well in those languages as well. So those languages and those engines. So I don't think I need to do a switch case. Yeah, maybe I will. var object enemy switch yeah, I mean, Mr. Cryptic, the guys at Game Maker Studio, they're still working on their engine. It's a fairly new engine. Yeah, I don't disagree with you in terms of a lot of the heartaches and headaches that it provides the programmer. But admittedly, the guys at Game Maker, one of the higher up guys, admits that their scripting language is not up to par with a lot of other languages, and a lot of the norms that you have in other languages. Yeah, it's fairly new to me. I don't know how long they've been working on it. I know there are a lot of different versions of it. I know at one point there was Game Maker 8, I think, before they switched to Game Maker Studio. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not here to determine that, but I think we get the job done for what we're working on. So, are you working on a project right now? Alright, so I think I'm just going to have to pass this through a script and then maybe do a switch case inside of that script. Shake enemy. Object enemy 2. Guys, there's no need to argue and fight about how awesome or not awesome Game Maker is. Let's not worry about it. Let's just keep moving on here. And in the future, Mr. Cryptic will probably just move on to a different platform anyway. So, yeah. That's fine, man. Yeah. Let me know what you know. Share the knowledge. Cool, man. How you liking Unity? Are you working do you do full-time game dev, Mr. Cryptic? Yeah, I could, Mr. Cryptic, I really could give you a list of headaches that I've had with Game Maker, but we've already got a lot in on this project, and so I'm just going to complete this project for sure in Game Maker and maybe consider other engines after this. it looks like I'm gonna have to pass in all my other arguments. Cool, Mr. Cryptic. Good info. Yeah, that makes sense. And the Beastly Bro, yeah, you'll see it here in a second. I'll hop over to that in a second. We don't have much done on the second level yet. It's literally, there's not a lot there yet. So let me finish passing in all these arguments that I need to pass in. I think I'm going to change this to object enemy. This is object screen shake. This is view low. This is view high. This is final position or final shake boolean. View low, view high, final shake boolean, and then argument 4 is the object enemy passed in. That's probably a better way to say it. Object enemy, we are shaking. arg4 equals 0. We'll actually change this guy to false. Change this guy to 0 instead of false. Supported engine, it's the engine of choice for 2D. It can do everything a gamer can do and more. It has no tile map system, but there are third-party solutions for that work better than Game Maker's tile maps system. Yeah, makes sense. Yep, makes sense, man. At this point, we're locked into using this platform because I'm not about to switch just to move everything over to a new platform because we're so far in on this project. But yeah, next project, it's definitely worth taking a step back and determining if we want to use a different engine. And I definitely have a lot of reasons why I should be in the market for looking for another engine next time around anyway. So I think we're on the same page, man. In the meantime, it's your job to come back here and tell me how cool Unity is and why, because I need to know if that's going to be what I'm going to switch to next time. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're good here. 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, cool. I think we're good. Final shake boolean, and then I think we're good. So got that guy. Gonna do one more group here that I can think of that I know I need. Engines, and create a group inside this group. Shake, because I've got several pieces in here that are in basically the shake engine. Do not need to click that twice. Shake, and let's see. shake. You can make it work and you can get jobs done, just like making stuff in assembly also can work and get stuff done. But is it worth the problems you will have along the way? So assembly, believe it or not, man, there's a big user base behind it that will buy almost any game that you create in assembly. So as long as it's a decent game and it's worth their time, they will pay the money for it. So I would actually like to port this game to assembly because I know there's a big market for it, and there's been 1 or 2 companies who are building for it who have proven that and have made a model out of just building games for Neo Geo. All right. Pull down the other engines into here. Speed engine. Oh, that's not an engine. All right. I think we're in good shape here. So there's the shake. And let me just look at this one more time. Put these in order of how I'm thinking of them. And take this out here. And I think what I'll do is create a map. Let's just do a list. DS list equals, or enemy list equals DS list create. Alright, cool, Mr. Cryptic. See you later, man. Cool, sounds good. Sounds good. Enemy list, or so from here I'm gonna call this actually EL. Enemy list and then this would be DS list add EL, and then we'll add object enemy 2 in there, and we're gonna have this in really good shape here in just a second. Var, and then we can just pass in additional enemies. Var I equals 0, I is less than DS list size, I think that's EL, I plus plus. What are you saying, the Beastly Bro? Oh, sorry if I come off as negative, I'm just passionate about this stuff. Yell at me and not the new guy for talking about Game Maker. Wait, I'm yelling at you? I don't think you're talking about me. Mr. Cryptic, he's been here before, man. I'm not yelling at you either, man. I'm just saying everybody needs to just take a just relax. There's no reason to get upset about any of this. So sorry if you thought I was yelling at you, bro. Definitely wasn't. If instance exists, here's where we go. DS. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, man. Give me just 1 second. I'll show you that in just 1 second. DS list. I'll show you the second stage in just a second here. I'm in the middle of this, so if I run this right now, it's gonna break this. It's gonna break the game. So I gotta finish this real quick. This is literally the last piece I'm writing. DS list. I think I just go EL. The I think that'll do it. I'm gonna verify that. Grip, shake, enemy, object. EL, I. Okay, let's make sure this syntax is correct right here. Not exactly sure if it is off the top of my head. I know I've got some more code that I can verify for this. Shake, or specifically we're looking at, yep, boom, that's correct. Okay. Good to go. All right, remove this extra stuff. And I gotta see if I've broken any code yet, guys. Hopefully I haven't. Oh, I do know that I need to pass in some arguments here. arg0, arg1, arg2, arg3, and arg4. Um, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Cool. Cool. Good. Let's make sure we didn't break this. If we broke it, we got to fix it. And then level 2. Coming right up, man. Coming right up.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Good so far. Uh-oh. Bug. Copy, abort. And I know I don't have my other text editor in place. At least I don't think I do. Let me check. E. Nope. Notepad. Just open Notepad. It had a problem with for object index -4. Going through shake engine, going through here. Had a problem at line 38 of shake enemy. Okay, line 38 is right here. It couldn't find var enemy 0 is not set to default here. I need to make sure that var enemy is not set to 0 so it doesn't get reset every single time. And we need to make sure that it does. That may fix it. Let's see if that fixes it. And I think actually I can take it off of the other script. I think it's right here unnecessarily. Both of those are unnecessary. Okay, let's try this.
Skycurser. Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Oh, come on, Game Maker. So somehow it thinks that Alright, I'm gonna actually see if I can circumvent this and push us straight to level 2. So you should be able to see it real quick here to Beastly. I was just thinking about it. I think I can circumvent it, so I'm trying to do that. I don't think it's on the menu. I think it's on the boot screen. In step. Nope. Nope. Press start. That's what it is. Here we go. You ready for this? I think we can go straight there. Hopefully get past all this other stuff. Here we go, level 2. All we got right now is the chopper up here at the top. Make sure you guys can see it. Looks like it. The chopper up here at the top, and the cars rushing down below. The cars are trying to get out of the city. And the second I shoot, of course I have a bug. Let me see what this bug is. That's all we got right now. Looks pretty good so far. I mean, we've got a good start on it. Back to here, it's having the same problem. It looks like. That doesn't look like the bug that I just saw. Let me try this again because I need to see that. So there's our bug. Let's copy that, abort. And this one's complaining about E size, and I think that's related to the obstacle. So let's make sure the obstacle has an E size. That helicopter dough. Yeah, man. Chris loves it. He created it. Chris is Skycurser, so I think you know that already though, but just letting you know. Go in here, let's look at this. Do I have the obstacles? No. I don't have all the obstacles. Yeah, so the obstacles need an E size and an E target. That should be pretty easy. Let's do that real quick. It's not in the enemies, it's under the obstacles, level 2, base vehicle. Script, base vehicle, and knit. Try that, hit play. It's got the wrong animation on it. The animation should be a metal explosion, but I don't have this running through correctly yet. So we just modified our system. We don't have shotgun or katana working yet against these guys. Our mini blast bullet does work, but it's not doing the right explosion and the right everything else. So that's perfectly fine because I haven't spent a lot of time since I've modified the weapon with the obstacles yet, the vehicles down at the bottom, so I'm gonna make sure that gets updated here very soon. So that's it. Yeah, so I knew we were gonna be able to get to it. I definitely wanted to, so sorry it was taking me so long. Go back to level 1 and make sure we can get our script working there. So I gotta go to room controls, press start, change this to 1. Now we're back in room 1. We'll look at that error that I was getting. It's having a problem with I think it's having a problem with the argument. I'm thinking the argument is not getting set properly. Argument 4 here. I should do an output of whatever argument 4 is. Should be object enemy 2, but let's just verify here. Man, didn't I just create an enemies engine? I mean an engine group. Did it not save that or what? Video, obstacles. Sweet, sounds good, Chris. Must be going crazy here because there they are. They're in the wrong folder. They should just be in scripts. Okay. And we're having a problem with this guy right here. Let's look and see how we're doing this. Argument 4. That looks right to me. Arg 4. And it's having a problem with this guy right here, I think, on the initial pass. It's looking for enemy I at the INI X. And I think what we have to do is make sure enemy I gets set to the correct instance, which it should be here. Should be coming through as whatever's in not ARG0. That's the problem. ARG4. This should be ARG4. This should fix our problem. Okay, let's try this again. Play. Okay, sounds good, Chris. Yep. I've noticed Game Maker's compiling way faster than it was with this new computer. Way faster.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
So it got past where it was. I had a problem. I haven't included X select. So I know what that issue is immediately. I see what it is. I have not set this. I need to set this. I'm gonna remove this show debug message. I don't need it anymore. I copied those variables. Let's set them right here. And I think we're good. Let's go ahead and hit play again. It should fix this. Oh, specs on my machine, yeah. Thanks for asking. I'm really excited about this. It's an MSI, which I thought technically I didn't know much about when I went to buy it. Hold on one second. Let me test this real quick.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
There it is. Yes, it's working. Okay. So, specs on this machine. Let's see if we can pull it up. Yep, we're all geeking out together. Alright. Intel Core i7, 2.5 gigahertz, 32 gigs of RAM. 64-bit operating system, obviously, and then hang with me for a second. I think this is the correct. Whoops, wrong. Can't remember the exact term for this, so give me a second. So I'm looking this up real quick. I spelled it wrong. And so then beyond that, it says 8 CPUs, but what it really is 4 CPUs. So it's really 4 CPUs acting as 8 CPUs, but then it's also got its own graphics card. It's a the system is a GTX, a GT70 2QD. So 32 gigs, yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's like incredible. All right, so we got this going, and oh yeah, the graphics card has 3 gigs of DDR5 or something like that, so it's pretty good overall for a laptop. It's a laptop, so it's heavy. It's not sleek, but it does the job. All right, so from this point now, I think we can just start adding additional enemies into this, and they should all kind of work the same. So let's try that real quick. Go to the engine, shake engine, specifically here, and we will start looking at all the enemies and passing them in. So I don't know if this will work for enemy 1, but we're going to try it. The reason why I don't know if it'll work for enemy 1 is mainly because enemy 1 is on a path, and if we need to, we'll do some special coding for that. Not a big deal. I just don't know if it'll work right off the bat. Chris, are you ready? See if I can get this to work on the first try. What if I could be a complete jerk and make the Necro Stars shake too? Gonna do it. Try and stop me. We're just gonna make sure everything roughly looks correct on this. The other thing, I know I'm gonna have to modify something. I'm just not exactly sure what it is yet. Mainly it'll probably have to do with maybe not. Yeah, I'm gonna have to modify the backgrounds to make sure all the backgrounds have INI Y and INI X. So I'm gonna try this with some of the backgrounds. Object, I don't remember what my background names are, so I'm gonna go look. Let's just try this with the first set of guys here. And so what did I type wrong? Background stage 1 layer 0, right? Yeah, that's right. And it goes all the way through 9, 0B, and 6 loop. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0B, 6 loop. Okay, that looks good to me there. The other thing that I have to do is make sure I don't see any other gotchas in the shake enemy script. It actually probably should just be shake object, and I'll make sure to update that. Okay, good there. And then yeah, let me look at this script one more time though. There's just an X and a Y, a check for an X and a Y, setting those positions, and then an I and IX and an I and IY. That's it. So let's make sure that these guys are inheriting from a parent, and right now they're not. So let's go ahead and do this. Backgrounds 3, backgrounds 2, clouds 1. Yeah, there's a lot of freaking backgrounds here. So let's just do a create object, object base background, and there's no sprite to this. Tons of children. Add event. Is there an object based background already? Tell me where that is. I doubt it. I think it did that when I clicked on children, so I'm gonna try this again. Object base background. Nope, doesn't like that. It's saying I have that object somewhere. Search for it here. Object base background. Where are you at? Aha. Shoot. I'm using it in level 2. I don't want. I probably will change that, but for now, I'm just going to call this one object base background 1. Let's say level 1. Add event, create event, control, action. This will be I X equals X, I Y equals Y. That's it. That's all we need. But the other thing we need to do is add all these objects to it. I could probably just say, instead of level 1, just call it base background game. Make it the parent of everything. And I dropped all these other items that are not really backgrounds into the backgrounds folder, I think. Let's verify that. Yeah, I did. Not a problem though, that's kind of how I want it. Can you just make sure it's black in the background? Already did, Chris. What keyboard mouse I have? I've got a Razer Black Widow Tournament Edition, and I've got a Razer Taipan for the mouse. Yeah, so the reason why I got the MSI is because when I went to the store, the high-end electronics store here, well, before I went in, I did some research online and found a Razer laptop that was very like the highest end, kind of around where I wanted, and then I got to the store and found this MSI that was obviously they didn't have a Razer in store, they didn't have an Asus in store, which I guess is supposed to be up there with good gaming laptops as well, but this MSI was in store for good gaming laptops. What's your mouse? This one's plain and I like it a lot. I like it. It's slick, but it's plain. Yeah, so here's my Black Widow Tournament Edition. No numpad, which is awesome because I don't have a big desk. It's exactly what I needed. Regular Microsoft mouse. Kappa. Alright. So let's start adding these backgrounds to the parent. Background base. Okay. Start at the top. backgrounds, parent, backgrounds, parent, backgrounds, parent, backgrounds, parent, backgrounds, parent, literally triple clicks. Backgrounds, parent, backgrounds. I think I just got that one. Let's try this one. I will click through them all here in a moment just to make sure I got them all. Or I can just click on the parent and make sure that everything looks like it's in there. If the window was better. Can't really make it bigger. Okay. Yeah. So I just gotta click back through. Yet another problem with Game Maker. Layer 9. Layer 6. Layer 7. Layer 8. Layer 5. Layer 6 loop. Good. Layer 4 loop. Yep. Layer 0B. So I do want to make sure that if the background is this guy right here, that it resumes its initial X and Y position. Everything else, oh, and same for 4. So I need to make sure object background stage 1, layer 4 and 5 resume its initial X position, because they're basically stationary, basically. So we're going to go into the shake engine again. Man, I don't know what happened. I guess when it did the search, it opened up all the folders. That's kind of not necessary. Wish there was a collapse all button. That's alright. So here we'll just do a special case and say switch, let's see, var x original equals false, switch arg4. I guess I don't even need X original, but we can just say X original, case, specifically this guy, break, case, this guy, 4, break, I can just go like this, but then from here I can say X original is true. I think I'll just, I'll leave it like that. I could have a default and then just set the default to X original equals false, but I'm basically already setting it right there when I'm declaring the variable, so I'm just going to leave it alone. And then I can just say if X original, so it's going to evaluate to true or false, so that will make this work. I can say enemy I.x equals enemy I.inix. Okay, that's it. Let's try it. Time for a new mouse.
Mission 1, Death at Dusk. Go!
Oh, that was awesome, but it didn't quite make it. Oh, that was so awesome. Alright, let's see what the problem was. Drop it into our script here, our notepad. Had a problem with this guy. Invalid comparison type. I've got quotes around it. That's the problem. It just needs to be an object. So, oh man, that was insane. It looked so good. Chris, did you see that? Oh man, I just can't wait. That felt really amazing. Try again. Alright, here we go. Keep closing out all the tabs since GameMaker just opened them when it did a search. Okay, here we go.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go.
Oh my god. Oh, it looks really good. And it feels really good too. There are a couple of things that are missing and not exactly hitting what we need them to, but we're in a really good spot here. Okay. That was insane. Okay, that was tight. It's having a problem with the Y position. Man, I can't really tell what the object is. I think what I'll do here to make this a little bit simpler on me is I'll output the object inside of that script. Close the sprites. Get out of here. I'm wondering if ARG3 could ever potentially be evaluating improperly. I think I want to change the position of these. ARG3 and ARG4. Actually, maybe not, because the destroy script passes it in right through here, so I might need to leave that alone. I should have seen what line that it was having a problem with. I'm not exactly sure. I got a couple I and Ys here, so I need to check that one more time. So let's recompile real quick.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go.
It's crazy. I'm getting it. Is this the same one? Ah, it is. Okay, so it's having a problem with line 38, which is here, which is a little bit disconcerting because there's something apparently that doesn't have an I and IY that I think does, that I'm trying to pass into here. So I think we're going to find out what it is in this script. So 00B, I need to probably put these in order. One of these does not have. Right. I agree, Chris. They should all be moving together. I'm not exactly sure why they're not, and they're not going back to exactly where they should be. So I'm working on that. But it looks insane and feels insane when you play it. Alright, let's go put these in order. Game Maker. What do you do to me here, man? Order these so I can see them a little bit more clearly. Be good anyways for maintainability purposes. 3, 4. Oh, I was going to output the object that we're looking at as well so I can see which one is failing, because right now I can't really tell which one it's trying to look at that is failing. So let's do that right now while I'm thinking about it. And show debug message, current enemy object. So that'll be right before it tries to run it, and we'll know which one is failing. 0 through 9. I mean, the background looked like it was going all right, so it's got to be like enemy 1. I'm guessing it, well, enemy 1 I was destroying just fine. Enemy 2 couldn't be that guy because I tested that one. Okay, let's just see what we get on the compile window. See what it tells us. What's up? Welcome back.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Okay, copy. Yeah, we knew you would have a problem with that. Let's see what our debug output says. Oh, gosh. Give me the name, not the freaking index number. Let me do that real quick. How's all these guys? And the script we're looking at here. There. Okay, good. Try again. Yeah, Chris, man, it feels so amazing, dude. Like, when you hit something, like, I can't even explain, man. It's like, it's feeling like it's never felt before. Honestly, it's just amazing.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Okay, let's see what we got. Copy board. Let's see what these messages are saying now. Error. Object stage 1 layer 1. So I had a problem with that one, although it didn't have a problem with it here. So I had an error right with stage 1 layer 1. Surprised. Maybe we can see how I'm describing enemy here. I probably shouldn't even call it enemy anymore. I should probably call it shaker object or something like that. So I am setting it to 0. Broke the game. Notepad is telling me it's line 38, and it's been line 38 every time. It's mainly having a problem when it's trying to set it back to its initial Y position. It had a problem that time with layer 1. Let's go look at layer 1. It is inheriting from parent. It looks to me like it is correctly base background game. And let's make sure base background game, as it should, have ini y and ini x. X and y. Yeah, so that value is valid. Object shaken. Yep. There's one here. That shouldn't affect anything. The initial position is 1. I think I can save a lot of code here if I pull this guy out and put him here. And take these guys out of here because they are basically redundant at this point. The initial time through, we get the X and Y position. Everything after that, we set the X and Y position. arg3 should always be false until we set it to true. And let's verify that. arg3 always false. And in the destroy event, we set it to true. Let's verify that. Shake, destroy event, set it to true, self view low, view high, true. Everything looks good for me there. There must be a problem with the fact that argument 4 is not getting set. It's either not getting set or the ini y for argument 4 is not getting set. Let's see. What is it? What is it? Shaking. Argument 4. I wonder if it's thinking at any point that this is 0. I think we should probably make sure argument 4 exists before we do any of this anyways. That might fix most of our problems, because maybe what's happening is one script is calling it, and then the object, especially layer 1, is flying off screen before it reaches here, and so ini y no longer exists. And I think that might be what's happening, especially with the backgrounds, because the backgrounds are basically looping. So let's try this first and see if this works. And we may have to do something special with the backgrounds if this is going to continue to be a problem. I am also noticing, I think we are going to have to do something special with the backgrounds because the backgrounds are not going back to their original position. And I think, again, that's because they're looping quickly. And the script isn't able to pinpoint the X position again.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
So we fixed... Oh, no, we didn't. I was going to say we fixed our problem, but I think what's happening, though, is that exact thing that I was mentioning. So I think we just need to address it a little bit more. So the instance is existing. I think we say... Ooh, end of the school year, Beasley. What's your major? Got it. I think if we know that it's a background, then we don't set the initial Y and X position because we want it to be whatever it was when we came through. So I think what we do here is slightly modify, very slightly modify the let's look how we did this in enemies. I know I did this in enemies. In the object base enemy. And we have a couple of things here in the script object base enemy init. Enemy base enemy init. We have E-type and E-size. So with these we have what type of object it is in terms of an enumeration of objects. Alright, Beasley bro, though. Good luck, man. Have fun. And we have small, medium, or large here, and we have meter metal here. I think we'll add one more to this. And we will call this we have object type here. This is probably used in a specific location. I'm not going to overwrite that, but I am going to say object type. This will be an enumeration. E-object type. Yeah, I hate to do it like that. Equals enemy. I could also check and see if it's got object base enemy attached. Instead of doing it this way, I think I will actually. See if I can do it that way. Is there an instance of I can use game maker? No like instance parent, there's no I wonder if I can just say object base enemy. Sometimes you just gotta try these things. Alright, so let's try var object type equals Can't really say get name. I'm gonna have to look this one up. Yeah. Yep. Object set parent. Is there an object get parent? Yes, there it is. Returns the parent of the specified object. Index. Or the return value. Okay. So let's say object. Just gotta follow Larry Payne. Thank you so much for the follow. Greatly appreciate the support. Object get parent, and then we'll say arg4, but on top of this guy, well, we'll see if we can leave it like that. And from here, we can say if object type does not equal object base background game. Yep. Then we can set the initial y and x and y positions. Okay. And let's see if that works. I would like to output, well, I don't even think I need to output that as a string because I'm pretty sure it'll just be an index, but let's see what we got there. Yeah. I think I'm going to say arg4. Oh, let's just leave it like that. arg4 is always going to be set to play. Let's try that.
Mission 1. Death at dusk.
Problem INI-Y. It's almost like it definitely wasn't set. Let's see what the apparently I took out the message that was showing that, so, and I just took it out, so we'll add it back in. Show debug message, current object, and let's just go string object get name, get this guy out of here, arg4, and pretty sure this is just going to evaluate to an index, so it's just going to grab the parent. I don't think I want to leave it like that. I think what I want to do is say object get name, and on top of that this has to be a string now because this returns a string. So try this again, play. So now we have the debug message back in there to tell us what, if any, background errors out.
Mission 1. Death at dusk.
Error. Alright, where do we error out at? Had a problem with the Y. Y. Copy line 40. Copy this guy, abort. See what we got here. Still having a problem with, in this case it was a problem with layer 0. But I think it's not grabbing this correctly, so I'm going to output the parent name real quick just to make sure that I'm doing